Mid-flight to London, a warning suddenly blared. Intrusion signal detected from inside the aircraft. Two F-22 jets immediately closed in, locking onto the Boeing 777. A male passenger calmly opened his laptop. Red, flashing codes appeared on the screen, military sequences. Light reflected off the window. Beside him sat a 15-year-old girl. She recognized it instantly and whispered softly, "That's a combat activation code." When the radar turned red, she opened her own laptop. Using a satellite decryption program, originally her school project, she began reversing the signal. Seconds later, the attack command was cancelled. An automated voice crackled over the radio. "Field agent, callsign Sparrow." The entire cabin fell silent. No one knew that Sparrow was the codename of a person who had once saved the world from an air disaster. Ellie Carter, 15 years old, a small American girl with long brown hair, glasses, and an old laptop she called Falcon. Her mother, Laura, a high school teacher, was taking her to London for an international youth science conference. Ellie loved astronomy and signal encryption. She was quiet, shy, often bullied. A nerd, they said, because she preferred programming and listening to satellite frequencies. She sat in seat 14A by the window. Next to her was a stranger in a black suit, constantly checking his private laptop. He looked at her and sneered. "A 15-year-old learning to code. That won't save anyone." Ellie smiled gently. "I don't want to save anyone. I just want to understand the signals of the sky." In her bag lay a metal card. Project Sparrow, property of Thomas Carter. The only keepsake from her father, a military radar engineer, disappeared 10 years ago, in a laboratory explosion. No body found. Her mother rarely spoke about him. She always said only one thing: "Your father worked to protect the sky from being misused." As the flight attendant served food, the man quietly opened his laptop again. Ellie recognized the code instantly. "Hidden military sequences." The pilot announced, "We are passing through satellite interference. Please remain calm." The man smiled and kept typing. Ellie remembered her father's last words. "When the sky turns red, don't be afraid. Trust the numbers." She gripped the metal card. A cold feeling ran down her spine. Then everything happened at once. NATO radar confirmed the intrusion signal. Two F-22 Raptors were cleared to fire. The aircraft was mistakenly identified as a military target. The man connected his laptop to the onboard network. Signal takeover complete. Ellie jumped to her feet. "What are you doing?" He smiled coldly. "I am completing your father's legacy." Thomas Carter. He explained that her father had created the Skylink protocol, a connection between radar systems and fighter jets. Now he intended to use it to gain global control. Ellie recognized the algorithm. She had spent months learning how to decrypt it. There was no time. She began typing. Inverse codes. Satellite reversal. Counter frequency. Outside, the F-22s had already locked on. 30 seconds to launch. Then, green. Override complete. The stranger's laptop went dark. A voice came over the radio. "Field Agent Sparrow. Mission secured." The pilots froze. That code had been lost 10 years ago. Deep underground, an old general began to cry. Because Sparrow had returned, not as a weapon, but as a 15-year-old girl, who had just saved 300 lives. Ellie collapsed back into her seat, shaking, crying. Her mother held her tightly. "How did you know what to do?" "I heard Dad. He told me to trust the numbers." Later, the control center confirmed. Ellie Carter, the rightful heir to the Sparrow protocol. She chose to have it destroyed. Not out of fear, but out of responsibility. Because her father's legacy was never power, it was protection. And now she was its guardian. The sky remembered. And it smiled.